guys. Man, it's been a long time since I've done a live stream. I don't really know what I'm making here. I've been caught up doing a bunch of things behind the scenes, finishing up some projects, working on finishing up some videos with it. Just got done doing a rough out just a minute ago, and I thought it'd be cool to hop on here real quick. I got one more carve in me before it gets dark, and like I said, this is just a little freedom carve. Pretty funky piece of cedar. The whole backside is pretty wild looking. But this is all going to be heartwood, so it'll be bright red. Looking good. So we'll just hop in it, see what happens. Might turn into something good, might not. We'll find out. Well, I'll be honest with you, I haven't carved a smaller bear in a long time. So I had a bunch of extra gas left over. I'm just trying to clean up my marks a little bit. There's some pretty wild checking in here. I'm hoping I can run some glue and stuff. That's kind of what I was trying to work with, is get rid of some of the loose stuff as much as possible. And then I had this little knot at the bottom of it, so I figured it'd be a good little foot kicked out there. It's not bad. I mean, it's just a little quick carve. Everything is a disaster right now. And we'll go through it and I'll show you guys around what's been going new around here. Um, we've rearranged a bunch of stuff. I get kind of bored of everything after so long, so the old truck used to sit here, and you can see there's a big divot there, but moved it out by the road again, and gonna do some more landscaping stuff out here. This is one I finished a little bit ago, so I've been trying some new stuff, moving some bones around, some muscles around. Let me get rid of that there. So I guess kind of a larger stump there. As you can see the knot there that was coming off the tree, so he's got a cool little pose to him. Another little stump there over there. So been doing like a deep spring cleaning, and like I said, everything is an absolute disaster right now. Built a bunch of shelves up here for some storage, got some more storage to do. Trying to find a home for everything's been tough. And then we got a bunch of pieces around here now, so our season's kicking. We are getting busier and busier, and we got some really cool pieces. So this is actually one of my favorite pieces Big T's made. I just told him the other day, I'm gonna buy that from you. It just has like this nostalgic look to it, and we're gonna be adding some more shelves in here, redesigning some stuff, moving some stuff around. So like I said, I get a little bored with everything after a little while. See if I can switch this around. So that's really about it. I just want to get on here real quick. It's been a while. We are working. Vander and I did like a beginning to the podcast. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. So we're going to be starting a podcast here soon. There we go. Gonna be starting a podcast here soon, and we did kind of a test run, if you will. So it's a quick little video. It's about 20 minutes long. I'm gonna probably edit it tonight and get it up tomorrow. Trying a couple things, but we're gonna do some carving and talk about carving and life. Have friends of mine that are carvers come in, and just the carving podcast. So if you have any name suggestions, I'm definitely open to them. We came up with a couple, but nothing's really clicked yet. So we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be something we'll do consistently. Be able to show some pieces that we've done throughout the week, and we got some pretty wild orders coming. Working on getting some big, unique projects locked down. So I got to do some quotes on it and get it done by September. So we got a lot to do between now and then. Just on that particular project, we're finishing up this cabin project. I'll have a video out soon of it. It's just some major lightning come down. So we got cool things, a lot of cool things. I haven't been on here in a while. Super last minute. I was just thinking like, let's get on here for a second. Let's say hey to everybody. We're still kicking, we're still carving. I got a new lady that I hired over the last couple of weeks. So she's really helping with the social media side of stuff. Kind of an assistant, kind of a little bit of everything. She's been absolutely wonderful. So hopefully that'll continue to grow and allow me to spend my attention on other things. We got some video ideas we've been talking about doing, and so just having that extra set of hands around here is really going to make a huge difference. So, but other than that, the shop is good, life is good, God is great. We got a big show coming up this Saturday in Kentucky with a company called Operation Honor. You see that little cross there? So he opened this business up. His name's Joe, and he takes veterans and teaches them woodworking. They do signs, furniture, and stuff. And so we're going to do a carving. So show some veterans some carving, do some classes, do some fellowship, some testimony, some good food, some good music, taking Pops with me. And we're going to sneak up a day early, go see the Ark and the Creation Museum. So I'll have some videos of that coming up. We're kind of getting a little behind the scenes tour of it, hopefully. So might be able to show some unique things there, and actually have some videos from the carving over the weekend. So that'll be a video coming up soon. Like I said, we got this big cabin job we're finishing up, and just a lot of cool things. A lot of cool things happening. Had to get caught up on a bunch of old stuff, and I had to get squared away. Things got a little overwhelming there for a minute, so we're bouncing back up. So with a lot of prayer and a lot of late nights, early mornings, and some good carving. That's actually the first time I've carved. I did one little rough out the other day, but other than that, it's been about a month since I've done any kind of carving. This cabin's just been custom bathroom vanities. We did 4 custom cedar vanities with a lot of custom pieces in this cabin. So Vander and I have been busting butt trying to get it done, and we're like 2 little things away from being done with it. So I'm gonna do a little video of it. I was wanting to wait until the professional pictures and all that came in, but we'll just get it out and get it going. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more on YouTube. Like I said, now that we have an extra set of hands around here, it's really gonna make a difference and allow me to move my attention from being super overwhelmed on the business side of stuff to doing some fun stuff. I got a really cool piece I've been wanting to get done and start. I dreamed about it the other night, first time that's happened in a while. And yeah, give me 3 seconds, it's about to drop out. So I'm gonna grab my tools out from there and roll up my car window. I guess I'll give you guys a better view than behind my desk. Let's see. Let me move this around real quick. Awesome camera work here. Alright, handcrafted like this more. Hello, I'm a new carver. Where have you found the places to sell? And where are you located? Thanks. Dude, that is fantastic. How has your carving journey been so far? Let's see if I do that better. I'm actually located in Sevierville, Tennessee. And I have my own gallery up here, shop, whatever you want to call it, right here in Sevierville. So right next to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, all that stuff. And been here about 5 years now. So been carving for a long time. Worked at a gallery that my uncle owns in Gatlinburg for a long time, off and on. And then, like I said, I opened this up about 5 years ago. And so we got a little storefront up here. Kind of show you around real quick. Everything's a mess. We've been doing some deep cleaning, so this is a little shop set up here. Been like this for a couple years now. I'm actually ready to add some more shelves, redesign everything. Got some big plans for next year, so we'll see what happens. Might do a whole complete kind of remodel thing here. So on this side over here is the shop area. We have a little porch area out here, and then from here to the road, and then all the way to here we have a big display out by the road. And so yeah, it's been a blessing, man. It's been a blessing. Been fortunate to be surrounded by just amazing people, and yeah, it's been great. Since opening those, we got pieces in Italy and Canada and Cuba, and California, and everywhere in between. So let me tell you, it's been quite the journey. It's been quite the journey. But where are you located, brother? If you're still on here. Sorry, I'm checking messages on here. Mountain Home, is that Arizona? AR? Yeah. Very cool. What got you into carving, and what how long you been doing it? You just getting into it, you said, so has it been a few months, a year, a couple of years? And what's been your favorite piece? Oh, well, I appreciate that, man. Oh, I said Arizona. I went to school here, man, so my geography is not the best. That's hilarious. Been following you in your work. It's great. Well, I appreciate that, man. There's some really talented carvers out there, and man, I still study other people, and it's one of those things. The more you do it, you kind of learn new things along the way and try different things. Started hand carving in 2019, chainsaw since February. Okay. So how was the transition from hand carving to the chainsaw? You know, with hand carving, it's a little more intimate. I mean, you're right there in it. Are you doing like chisel work or like Dremel work, router work, stuff like that? And what made you decide to do the chainsaw? Make sure y'all can hear me. Turn this fan off. Knife gouges, I haven't I haven't done chisel work in a while, and it really wasn't. The last piece was probably these stringers I did, and it was just mainly wood burning, some dremeling, and some chisel work here and there. I definitely respect it. Um, I have a piece coming up that I'm doing that I'll actually have to do a bunch of chisel work with it. It's a movie character, and I've really struggled with it for a little while. And so this is another attempt on it. Everything was off just a little bit, so I wasn't happy with it, and so I decided to start over again. So now it's been so long, I'm supposed to have it done last year, and overthinking the whole thing, I guess. But I'll be doing a lot of chisel work on that. You know, what kind of stuff did you do with the chisels, and what do you find yourself doing with the chainsaw? Do you find any like similarities? You know, because I was from the beginning, you know, I always had this mindset and was kind of taught, like, whether it's something this big or huge, it's the same cuts. You know, just using different tools to get there per se. But I don't do a lot of small stuff. That little bear I just did, really probably the smallest bear I've done in a while. Vander, I mean, I'll show you one of his pieces real quick. He does these little dudes, and man, I don't even attempt it. I don't have the patience for the little stuff, and plus I like doing really big pieces. I like to really get into it, and it's a little more forgiving, I think, too. You got a little more material, you can kind of fine tune some stuff a little bit more too. So you have a little extra material to, I don't know, make things work a little bit more, I guess. So I've been fan chainsaw carving, but was scared of saws. Got trained as a follower. Hey, from the job, and got comfortable. I see you have some hand carving behind you, the Christmas tree. Man, that's I'll tell you, 15 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, I didn't respect the saw. I was young, and it was a huge piece we were working on, and before I started, I said, I want to put some blood, sweat, and tears in that thing, you know, just trying to be all hard and stuff. Well, I did, and actually ended up cutting my leg. Fortunately, the saw was super dull, and but that moment was super important because it really made me realize that none of these tools have emotions. None of them have a personality. They don't care if you're having a good day or a bad day. And you know, as you get more comfortable with the saw, you'll start to learn it. You can feel things when you're carving. So like when you get into a spot, you can feel like coming in from another spot, that negative spacing where it kind of gives out a little bit. And the more you learn your saw, the more you can kind of predict what it's going to do in that kickback zone and stuff. And so back to the Christmas tree, that is actually a really special piece, man. And let me see if I can turn this over. So this is like my little personal collection of art, and so this one got sent to me for Christmas, obviously, and it's, I'd say friend at this point, but follows me on YouTube and Facebook, and just never met him personally, but his name's Josh, and sent me this for Christmas, and just think it's super cool, man. I love it, and I've been working on getting something sent to him up there, but yeah, this was his little dude, which is super awesome, man. Super awesome. And then I got a koa plate from Hawaii. That came from a friend's property of mine. They shipped it over from Hawaii, and then another buddy put it on his lathe and carved some plates for everybody. bunch of random stuff. This was another artist. His son was doing wood burning, wanting to sell them. This was like a really funky piece he had made, so I had to get the funky stuff. This is like a memorial goose that Vander made for me. Unfortunately, I was doing an install on a piece in Pigeon Forge for a business, and somebody wasn't paying attention, and unfortunately hit a goose walking across the street. So it was like a weird, awkward moment. I was like super bummed out, and trying to help this goose out. There's nothing I could do. I was telling Vander about it, and that afternoon he called me a little goose. So we named it Freddy, and that's just in remembrance of him. What else I got up here? A buddy of mine made me a gavel, and a couple wood burnings from friends of mine and stuff like that. So I got more stuff in storage up on the shelves here, and I got more stuff at the house. And so I'm a collector as well. I love the funky pieces. This bird head was a piece of scrap wood, and this was like the first day Vander showed up. First day I met him, and I was wanting to bring some pieces here to see if he could sell them. And of course, he said yeah. And I just love the pieces like where you have fun with, you know. Big T's done a few pieces that I just really love. You know, they don't have to be. There's a lot of freedom in that, right? So it doesn't have to be anatomically correct, and each ear's off a little bit, blah 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 blah. So those are the pieces I like the most. But so we got Vander, we got Big T, Nathan. He's on his 24th piece right now, and I've literally showed this guy like twice, a couple little things here and there, and it's really taken off with it. And so I'm excited for his carving journey. Hopefully get to share that with him here. But man, he's done some really intricate pieces, and yeah, it really blows me away. So we got some cool pieces around here. So how was Arkansas? I don't believe I've ever been to Arkansas. I don't even think I've driven through it. I've never really traveled out west that much. So, and are you feeling more comfortable with the saws now? Are you getting a little more confident with it? I guess it could be a little intimidating. I'm just so used to it at this point. You know, that's that thing in Kentucky. So we're doing. It's the first time I'm really doing like carving classes. So we're doing 5 groups of 5 people. Kind of a step-by-step, an hour each, and hopefully people respect the tools, and we don't have anything crazy happen, but it should be a good time. It'll be a good time. So, what's been your favorite piece so far you've made? Or your most challenging pieces? And I appreciate you watching this. Like I said, I haven't done as much as I've wanted to on YouTube. I mean, ideally, what would be super cool is if I just had like a camera crew hanging out every day, just video and stuff. Because we are all over the place. I mean, some days it's wild. I've been doing a lot of on-job stuff, on-site stuff. Hadn't spent a lot of time at the shop recently, but hoping to get through this next little rush of orders and trying to get back to the basics and get back to carving. That's where I'm my happiest. And so, yeah, not being able to carve for about a month was, I noticed things started getting a little more stressful than they usually are. It's really where I go to escape, and you know, the business side of it and the artist side of myself. I say this all the time, they really hate each other. But I'm learning to kind of balance that out a little bit better than I used to before. So after this next big push on these orders, we'll get back to slinging some sawdust. Like I said, I dreamed of a piece the other night. It was last Wednesday, and I haven't done that in a long time. I used to have a little book that I would keep next to my bed, and I'd wake up, sketch out some ideas. And, you know, when you start dreaming about the pieces, you know, that's when you got the itch. And so it's super cool. But I'll definitely do more of. I really want to do that kind of a step-by-step block out. My problem is, this is what I'm going to run into this weekend in Kentucky. I've been like overthinking it really bad because when I first started carving, I had a really basic block out or rough out. I mean, really just super simple. I do a lot of extra cuts now, and I really just like, I enjoy the saw a lot, and so I got to try to figure out how to simplify everything to where it'll work for everybody. Assuming nobody's ever picked up a tool in their life. I'm sure I would think if you're signing up for like a carving class, you probably would have some kind of respect for tools or have done tools, but I don't know. So that's my only concern. Definitely gonna be a new experience. Definitely gonna be a new experience for me, but it'll be exciting. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'll try to do some lives over there, and hopefully be able to share it with everybody, because it's going to be a beautiful thing. And let's see. So my tablet up here wasn't keeping up with your comments. Let me go through these real quick. Playing working Arkansas, by knife, carver was a chainsaw doing bears, cardinals, and signs. You can only pick up a saw without chaps. You're a vet. Yeah, I was in the Army, and I appreciate your service. I was in from 08 to 14. I was ready to get out. Definitely had changed a little bit. Are you still in the Air Force now? It's hot up there. Dude, let me tell you something about fishing. I suck at it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I try to go fishing. I never catch nothing. Nothing. I got friends that are professional bass fishers. And we went out, this has probably been a couple years ago now. We went out to all his hot spots. I mean, this dude does competitions every weekend all over the country. And we went out there, it was like 12, 13 hours. We didn't have a bite. And the whole time he's like, man, this has never happened to me. I don't know what this is about. You know, I was like, dude, I'm telling you, I don't catch fish. I don't know what it is. Getting pretty comfortable. Awesome, man. You know, and that's going to come with time with the saw, and same probably with your gouges and chisels and stuff when you first started. You know, it could probably be a little more intimidating per se. Once you learn what it's wanting to do and what it's going to do, you get a little more comfortable. The balance is not getting too comfortable, and I know that's going to be a little contradictory. Only because, like I said, they don't care. I'm actually the safest probably with my chainsaw than I am with grinders and Dremels and stuff, because I mean I just sling those things around. But the chainsaw, I'm really like hyper focused on what it's doing, where it's doing, and all that stuff. There's I have a channel, but I don't have time either. I have the videos. I don't know chainsaw. I'll definitely check out your channel, bro. I'd love to see it. I love the chainsaw more than anything else. It's honestly at this point anymore, the detailing side, I'm like a little whatever. The chainsaw part, man, that's where the creativity comes to me. You know what I mean? That's where it's like a log, and you're slinging that thing, trying to find stuff in it. I have pretty much very similar steps I do with the detailing side of everything. So it's just kind of going through the motions to get it done. And you know, the chainsaw part, it's like, oh sweet. At the end of the detailing, when I put the clear coat on, I'm like, oh, this is garbage. I hate it. So don't enjoy the detailing as much as I used to. It's just the other half of it, I guess. And so a Roadrunner, like the cartoon Roadrunner, that would be awesome. I've never done one of those. I taught classes for hand carving. Just keep it simple. Yeah. I'm hoping I'm able to keep it simple. I tend to be a long talker, and probably I've had this before with people. People like teaching carving or people that stop by. I'm like, oh yeah, just do this and be done. And they're looking at me like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, well, why don't you? You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible, enough to where it looks like a bear. Hopefully, you know. I just think it'll be a cool experience for them. They can paint it and do all that stuff at home. And then hopefully inspire somebody to go home and try carving. That's really the ultimate goal of this whole thing. We've been talking about doing this for, man, everybody a year and a half. They built a new building recently, and they got it finally put up. And within the last couple months, we've really solidified a date. And so now it's like it's coming up to this weekend. And so, and I told him from the very beginning, I was like, man, you know, I don't care about anything else other than if we can inspire one person to go home and do some carving and try it and escape. I mean, carving saved my life. I'd say a couple times, and so you know, especially to help veterans talk about God and spread His love through the art, and I'm really hoping to hopefully inspire, change one person's outcome, you know. And so it's going to be an awesome experience. My dad's a veteran also. He was in the Marine Corps. So to be able to share that with him as well, it's truly going to be a special weekend. And so it's weird because typically I don't really video a lot of stuff, and I don't really take pictures of a lot of things. I really like to be in the moment, and so I'm gonna have to fight myself and really like take some videos of some stuff, or have my dad. He'll definitely take videos. He likes that stuff, so should be cool. We got some. I think the mayor's coming, and a couple news reporters coming. There's some fancy bigwigs coming, so be a good time. Be a good time. Well, man, I really appreciate your service, and I'm sorry you got hurt. Hopefully they're taking care of you now and giving you what you deserve and all that stuff. But I don't want to. 97. I don't want to tell you how old I was, but yeah, thank you very much, man. A real Roadrunner. I'm gonna Google that real quick. What does a real Roadrunner look like? Is that an actual animal? Okay. Greater Roadrunner. Oh, it's a real thing. Again, that's that Tennessee education coming through. Really shining bright tonight, eh? Oh, that'll be an interesting car. You said that's for a resort. Is that like a little logo or something they have? Or do they have a bunch of Roadrunners there? He's a funky little dude, ain't he? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's no triple. Fast running ground creatures with long tails and crests. They're found in southwestern and south central United States. In Mexico, usually in the desert, although capable of flight, roadrunners are going to run away from predators. Makes total sense in the cartoon now. That's really cool. I don't do a lot of birds. I probably struggle with them a little bit, to be honest with you. I don't know. I haven't done them a lot. The bears keep me so busy here. I did some really big eagle heads a few or so months ago, and they came out okay. I wasn't super happy with them. I felt like they were okay. But I honestly feel that about everything I make anyway. So everybody else liked it, thought it was cool. I wish I had a little more time on them, but yeah. Making sure your videos have been helpful. Much love to both you guys, brother. You got my full respect. I appreciate it, man. You got my respect too. Didn't do anything great. Well, you signed up. That's like the biggest thing, right? So I actually got activated for Afghanistan into 2010, and had like a goodbye party. Like we were heading out, came back home for a minute, headed out, and they canceled the order. So never had the opportunity to go anywhere or do anything. We did some local stuff. I was a 19 Delta Cavalry Scout, and so we got called up for like a quick reaction force on some riots and stuff like that. But really just did a lot of training more than anything else. And so I got a few buddies in the Air Force and Navy and Coast Guard and all that stuff. So thank you, honestly. So beep beep retreat. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm gonna try an eagle honestly, so I just gotta do it. It's weird that like intimidation, it never goes away, and in fact it might grow a little bit, because as you learn carving, for me anyway, personally, probably overthink it. Honestly, like before I get into it, overthink it quite a bit, and for some reason I get like, I gotta do this pinhead, right? And so it's from that movie Hellboy or Hellraiser, I don't know, I don't watch that stuff, but I've had too much time to think about it, and so it's just been like a huge block in my head. So you said it there, you just gotta do it, man. Just start getting into it, and it'll come. With Eagles, I feel like there's a lot of freedom in some Eagles and stuff, and so Big T does a really good eagle. We obviously do it a little bit differently. He's got one over here I'm looking at now. And the beaks, in a weird way, like those two eagle benches I did, man, they can go from like a toucan to like a parrot really quickly. So I had them too long, and then I had them too short, then had to push the head back, and so I wish I could give you like a definitive, like, oh yeah, this is what you do with the eagles. I try new stuff all the time, and recently, like every bear, I try new stuff all the time. I get bored doing the same thing, so I just get into it, man. It's just wood. The biggest thing I tell anybody with carving is like, don't get frustrated, even though I get frustrated sometimes. But just allow the wood to talk to you. It'll tell you, it'll let you know what it wants to do, and sometimes taking a step back and just let it marinate, and then coming back and kind of changing your perception a little bit of the piece really helps. And so hey, what's up, Matthew? I appreciate you stopping by. I haven't done a lot on the YouTube side of stuff. I always feel like I gotta apologize quite a bit, because there's so much I could be doing. But we're gonna try to do some more. I got an assistant now here that is really allowed me to put some attention in other places, and so I'm hoping with that, she's already started taking some videos. I've been showing her like the editor software and stuff I got. It's super easy, and seems to be getting a hold of it pretty good. So I'm hoping to do some more videos. I wish I had a bunch of videos over the last few months, but I really had to take a break from YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, because it was crazy here. It still is, but having another person really takes a lot off my plate right now. It's I found myself being more of a politician than an artist. Like, I was just out shaking hands and having meetings and designing and this and you know, talking about pieces, and then before you know it, it's been 14 hours and it's like, oh, I got to start carving. And so got a little burnt out for a minute, and but now we're back on track. And with that, we started doing some more videos. I had somebody doing my TikTok for a little while, so I thought about doing some like TikTok stuff, but I can't even get logged into it. So we're gonna rock on YouTube for a while, keep growing the channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is cool. I never like really pushed for it or anything, and really my whole goal with YouTube is just to hopefully influence somebody to start carving, you know. And so, but I really appreciate checking out and hanging out and commenting and all that stuff, and look forward to talking with you some more and doing some more videos here soon. So I really want to include everybody too. You know, we got some really talented carvers. So we'll do some more with Vander and Big T when he's in town, and Nathan, and just start highlighting everybody's work here, not just myself, because it no longer is it just me. I mean, we got a great team here, and they have made some really cool pieces. So really want to get the word out and highlight them as well. And so hand carving, it's an outlet, so I can walk away easily. Yeah, it's important to do, and it sounds counterproductive, honestly. I gotta take a break, but and sometimes really, honestly, it's the best thing to do, because you can walk 2 feet the other way, and you're like, oh, I see it now, you know. And so, is it hard being an artist and a businessman? It's the hardest thing I've ever done, and it sounds dumb, because at the root of it, we're just carving, right? The hardest thing about it, it's all mental. So the analytical business side of me wants to make sure everything is set up for everybody, that they can be as successful as possible. I want everybody to be here happy, productive, selling, making sure it's a clean environment, a safe environment for customers, making connections with people, all those things. The other side of it is making sure we have logs, supplies, whatever we may need to get any job done, go take measurements, design things, redesign things, making sure there's a steady flow of income coming in to cover the overhead of the business, to make sure we can utilize those funds in certain ways to grow physically in the building, and then, you know, working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And I take on certain commission jobs to make sure that we're able to do those things, right? And so the artist side of me, and I'm giving you a really long answer, I guess, but the artist side of me, man, I just want freedom. I want to carve what I want to carve. You can buy it or not buy it. I want to give away pieces. I want to spread the love as much as I can. And, you know, the orders are great, but I haven't found the balance of having the orders to suffice and still being an artist. So it's a double-edged sword. I mean, we've grown. I started out in a tent, bro. I mean, I had zero money. I had nothing to my name. I had nothing to lose at the time. I'll show you. I keep this in my clipboard to remind me. This was like 6 months in. I remember it wasn't 6 months in quite, but it was a couple months in. This was like February. And it rained so much, I had a little pop-up canopy. The rain was just constantly coming through. All my tools were getting wet. I was getting electrocuted. I was working in mud. And I bought this little tarp. I saved up money to buy this little tarp to at least cover my little area. And so I say all that because it was simple. Everything was so simple back then. I mean, I had to go to Lowe's every single day. I was selling bears or whatever I could get for whatever I could get. And I would get enough money to buy a couple cans of paint, a cup of coffee, a pack of cigarettes, all those things. And so I'll go into the journey here over the last 5 years, but that's the root of it. So a very long-ended answer for a simple question, I guess. But I'm learning to balance it out. So a wise man once told me, in the business side of stuff, everything is black and white. And the gray area is when you're carving. The gray area is when I can escape. I don't have to worry about anything. I can just go out, be free, because at the end of the day, I'm still an artist, right? And so having an assistant now, which, it's just a little bit more than that, but having that to kind of balance that out over the last couple of days in particular has been amazing. So really it's taken a lot of pressure, because people get mad at me. I miss a lot of text messages. I miss a lot of comments on Facebook, a lot of comments on YouTube. But man, it just gets a lot sometimes. I'm like one dude trying to do everything. So I'm learning to let go. So that's been a big challenge. And yeah, so. But man, it's a blessing. It is the most incredible thing I've ever done in my life. I work more than I ever have my entire life. I'm here. I sleep here. I'm rarely home. Maybe a couple days a week. Sometimes one day a week. I'm up at 4:30. I'm in bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock. And mentally it never stops. But I can't do anything else, man. I absolutely love everything. I mean, God has just really opened up so many doors here. Has brought incredible people here. Get to meet incredible people. Get to create, give back. And so, yeah, the business side is not all negative. I mean, it really allows for a lot more. So, hopefully, hopefully that was a good enough answer. I don't know. Kind of went on a little rant there for a minute, but it's a hobby for me, not full time. That makes it easier. It was a hobby for me, man. I started when I was 15. Yeah, right around 15. And was fortunate enough to be surrounded. I call him my uncle. He's a carver. I will say that looking back, I was really fortunate. It was a very old school shop. Very old school way, man. I was the shop donkey for a very long time. And at that age, you don't really appreciate anything. And so, I was just taking out the garbage, picking up scraps, and not knowing really what he was teaching me along the way. And so looking back, I'm just so appreciative of it all. And, wouldn't change it for anything else. And so I was pretty fortunate to be surrounded by some great people. And I'm just looking to take what I've learned and showcase it to everybody, and they can use it and not use it, and hopefully make it a little bit get into carving. So been hand carving for 15 years or so, on and off, and I learned from my dad. Been getting into chainsaw carving lately, and really having fun with it. I don't know, dude. How cool is that? How cool is that? Do you have pieces from your dad still? My dad was always into like carpentry stuff. And so I was always around woodworking growing up, and that's a whole nother story. I've been around trees since I was a kid, and around woodworking and stuff. I honestly didn't know I'd be doing this for a living. Um, but that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I've noticed. Well, and obviously, am I saying this right? Dismore. Is that how you pronounce it? Am I saying that right? There's been a lot of people transitioning. So, chainsaw carving. I'll tell this with everybody. It might be your thing, but I tried everything. I got into metal art. I got into tattooing. I got into music. I got into anything. And any job I ever had. I've had, man, 100 jobs probably. I sold motorcycles. I fixed leather furniture. I did sales. I did zip line guiding. I did, restaurant work, a little bit of everything. But carving for me was always challenging. Like, it was always, I've just never done learning with it. I think the one time, I've said this a bunch, the one time you're 100% satisfied with a piece and there's absolutely nothing you would ever change on it, you're done carving, man. Because there's no way. No piece is ever done. We just get to a point of acceptance, and it's like, okay, well, on the next one I'm going to try this, right? And so that's been my favorite thing with carving. And to look back at some pieces from even 6 months or so ago to now, maybe most people wouldn't notice the changes, but all those little things, they really add up. And so I've been really like pushing in the muzzle and bringing up the jaw and moving the ears around a little bit more. And like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But I'll take a piece, and whatever I do on it, when I get done with it and I look at it and I evaluate it, I'm like, all right, on the next one, I'm going to try this. And so I guess my advice on that is don't get so caught up on one particular piece for so long. Take those and apply it to the next one, and then take that one and apply it to the next one, because going back and changing some stuff on the same piece, and I'm not saying just, I don't know, slang one out there for no reason, but if it's something major, or you do notice something and the piece is already completed, take that and apply it to the next one. So where do you get wood? Loggers, sawmills. Everywhere. Recently, in the last few months, this tree service came to me, and I thought he said he had 20 trees they were cutting down, and they were just needing a spot to cut them down, or drop them off per se. And I said, yeah, man, you bring them here, ain't no problem. He said there's some pines, some poplars, some oaks. I said, well, the oaks we'll use for the smoker. There's a barbecue stand next door to me. And I said, but ain't no problem. I'll carve anything. I don't care. Well, those 20 trees were actually 20 dump truck loads of trees. And so they started delivering these trees out back. And these trucks just, for 3 days, just coming in full of trees. And I'm talking like some monster trees. And our tractor won't even pick them up. So that was a little bittersweet, I guess. But that hasn't happened in a while. I did have a guy come today. I guess the tree service. I cut this big old cedar down in his yard. I never go get them anymore. I used to go and like resource my own wood. It's just, at this point, it's the business side. It's more productive for me to pay for it to get delivered here. So there's random groups of guys that go and try to sell trees to everybody. I'd say probably 3 or 4 times a week somebody calls or stop by. Sometimes it's like a little much, they're trying to make their living, but I have to balance that out of not telling them no so many times, but not telling them yes every time either, because they won't stop, man. And so this June's been a little bit slower than I would like, and so I guess, I just get them all delivered. Now, I do have some friends with sawmills. This cabin job, we did 4 custom cedar vanities, a bunch of shelving, a bunch of custom metal work in it. I got 2 coffee tables out there with some epoxy, and I did some metal engraving on some bears and stuff in it. I do go to them for that. And so I did get some cedar from, it came out of Chattanooga. But I would say 95% of it's all locally sourced. So that's on me. Very cool, man. Keep it up. I don't even have a tent. I'd like to go full time. I'm not sure I could in my area. Well, I don't want to brag about the tent. I had $30 in my pocket, and I spent, it was like $27.99 or something. It was like $27, man. And I had like a half a gallon of gas. I remember I had a Dremel that was like barely working, and a grinder that was held together with duct tape. So I was a little spoiled in that sense. You know, I don't want to brag and boast about my tent. But man, I will tell you, with carving, I chased money with carving for a very long time, like anybody else does, or like any sane person. You know, you worry about your finances, and you worry about paying your bills, being able to eat, put gas in your vehicle, get coffee, those little things. But every time I focus on the money with carving, it failed. It would do good for a little bit, but you have to remember that your pieces hold that energy that you're putting into it. And if you're putting that stress and that, I don't want to say greediness, because that's not quite the right word I'm looking for, but if you're putting that pressure into that piece, people will feel it. And I will tell you firsthand, it happened to me for a long time. And I'll be honest, sometimes you're like, all right, we got to start making some stuff happen. Start calling some phone. Let's make some phone calls. Let's get this done. Let's quote this. Let's try to get this locked down. Let's get a deposit. You know, and again, that's the business side of stuff. But do carving for the passion, and the piece will hold that passion and that love and that attention. And no matter what, it'll come. God will take care of it. You know, I'm not going to say we're doing $1 million in sales, right? We're buying name brand cheese. We're doing okay. But I don't care. I don't care. My assistant, she's money. It's all right. But I tell her, don't worry about the money. Do it because you love it. And if it's a hobby at this point, ride that out as long as possible. Because I got some really great advice from a very talented carver. He does some stuff. His name's Hoppy Quick. We actually have a mutual customer, and I called to get his permission. It had cracked, and she was wanting me to repair it. And I said, we'll call Hoppy, make sure it's okay that I touch his piece, make some alterations to it, just out of respect for him. Because let me tell you, his carvings are amazing to me. I mean, first time I saw them, I stopped and was like very humbled very quickly. And so, his advice, we got to have a conversation for a while, and his advice to me was quit taking orders. And I said, man, you're 50 years almost in the game. A little bit easier for you probably than it is for me. He said, no, I understand. He said, I did it for a long time. I said, but why do you say that? And he stated, when you take on orders, there's a pressure that comes with that. He said, not even per se into the piece, but per se into the timelines, the deadlines, the hoping that people like it, the whatever it is. And he said it takes away from the art, because the whole time you're carving, you're thinking about, oh well, we got this little bit of budget in here, all these negative emotions maybe coming up in it. He said, but get back to the carving and get back to the piece, because if you're just carving, you don't care. You'll be out here till midnight, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I've slept on the ground out here just because I was so hyper focused into the piece that I did it for the piece. I didn't do it for a budget, and I didn't do it for a deadline or an order. I did it because I was having fun, and I was so lost from the world that I couldn't stop carving. So, I say all that because if it's a hobby for you right now, there's no deadlines, man. There's no pressure. There's no, we need it tomorrow, we need it last week, blah, 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 blah. It's for the art. And do it for the art, because the people will feel that, and they'll appreciate it. And the money will come. Or it won't. But either way, you're living an artist's dream, right? And so, I'm not saying it's the easiest, the easiest way of life. I was a starving artist for a long time, and man, I ate some cheese sandwiches not too long ago. So it goes like this, you know. You just got to even it out a little bit. I'm in such a touristy area, you know. June, I was looking at like last year's numbers, and it was okay, but you never know, man. I mean, you get one phone call or somebody comes in and they can buy whatever. You know, one day can make your week, 1 week can make your month, and 1 month can make your year. You just never know. You just want to be ready for it, and allow it to come. So I hope that kind of helps a little bit, because this building, all these tools, none of it matters. The landscaping, who cares? I do this for the customers. I want them to have a nice, safe experience, a piece where they can come and buy a piece and be proud, and really care about the pieces, have a great experience, and take that home with them. And if not, it's all good. But let's see. I should have a good one. Let's feel like guys. I feel like pressure on commission for sure. Man, I gotta go. I hate to end this. Yeah, some great info. Hope you do this again. My shit's running away. Dismore, man, dude, I appreciate it. I've had a great time talking to you. And I'll definitely try to do some more, just some live stream stuff. It's easier not having to edit stuff. And what I might do is just put a little piece on the detailing side of stuff and just throw it on here and check the live stream every now and then. But thanks for hanging out, bro. I really appreciate it. I'm excited for your carving journey. Keep after it. Don't get frustrated. Enjoy it. And if you go to my Facebook page and my email, all my information's on there. Feel free to call anytime. I'll be happy to help you along the way. Give you any advice I can. The shop number's on there, so you can call it, and I'll call you as soon as I can. So, Matthew, a machinist during the day, carve for fun on the weekends. So you're carving during the day a little bit, just different tools, right? So that's cool. I mean, just different mediums, you know. But similar. I mean, you're kind of working in the negative space, and much love, Dismore. That's awesome. Yeah, how long have you been carving? You said a long time with chisels, but you just recently started doing chainsaws. What are you doing, Pops? You staying up late tonight, huh? I got on here, I was just doing a quick little rough out. I was figuring I'd be on here for like 10 minutes, just say hey kind of thing, but we're an hour and a half deep into this. And of course I've been talking a lot, you know. What are you doing? Yep, up on the roof all day. Oh, were you able to get everything sealed up? Pops has been working on his house this last couple of weeks, and you know, you open one little mess and it kind of turns into a big project. So, are you making progress on it? Are you getting ready for Kentucky? Are you getting it done? Sorry, I'm just checking messages real quick. Changed something a few months ago, learning tools slowly. Well, man, you ain't got no rush. There ain't no rush into learning it. You know, the first 3 cuts of any piece I do are the biggest pieces I cut off of anything. And I said this a little bit earlier, but I do a lot of extra cuts, and I do a lot of just little bitty cuts. So like through the process, it's probably pretty harsh cuts. Those first 3 cuts, I'm just getting my triangle, and then I'm just, well, it's not harsh cuts, I lied to you. I'm kind of drawing everything out with the chainsaw. And so I'm kind of laying the lines out, using the saw like maybe more like a pencil. And so I'll kind of softly put all my rolls in, and once I get to a point where everything I feel like I can solidify it, and then I'll come back in and do my final cuts on it. So the whole process, man, honestly, like I said, I'm just cutting little stuff off here and there, seeing how it's going to lay out, what the wood says it wants to do, and then towards the end, that's when I come in and solidify all my cuts and bring in cuts and stuff. I really want to do, I wish I had some more carving videos, like step-by-step stuff. That I could I'm gonna work on that soon. I got some big projects and stuff to do soon, but we're gonna make some time and definitely do that. At least get people in the right direction, and they can take it from there, kind of thing. And so, but I guess all that to say, like, man, it's just whittling. You know, think of it kind of like an aggressive grinder per se. You know, I like doing smoother cuts. Makes the detailing side a lot easier. And like I said, I'm just kind of laying everything out softly, and then at the end I'm coming in and putting in my arms and my feet and all that stuff. And so let's see. What's up, Glenn? It's been a long time, brother. You doing alright? I think she'll be drawing Kentucky's Eureka. Well, that's good. I was just talking about Kentucky I guess probably 30 minutes or so ago. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, Pops. It's going to be an awesome experience. And trying to get a lot done in between now and then, but we're getting there. It'll be alright. I got the Sevierville Co-op over here. They're halfway sponsoring their event, so they're not donating the saws, but they're helping us out quite a bit on getting the 5 saws. So I'll probably pick those up in the next couple of days. And I gotta get some tools and some other stuff, some logs cut up, ready to go. So well, we got a little bit to go. I got some on-site carving to do. I gotta finish up the cabin job, hopefully tomorrow. Went on-site Wednesday. I gotta finish up I had one little weird spot on those beams we did. I gotta go back and sand and put some more clear coat, pick up the front door. Try to, yeah. It's some long days, but it'll be alright. Good, man. How you doing? Doing good, brother. Doing real good. Hadn't been on here in a while. A long while. And, you know, now that it's light out until 9:30 here. And, it was like 8 o'clock. Well, I guess it's been a little bit longer than that. Or a little bit later than that. I just finished roughed out and just wanted to do another one. I hadn't been on the saw in a while. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to hop on YouTube. Been a minute. So, the original plan, like I said, was going to be, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And then we've been chit-chatting on here for a while now. So, yeah. Doing some updates around here. It is an absolute mess here. So, trying to get everything cleaned up. We're doing a big show in Kentucky this weekend, and trying to get ready for it. So we're doing a lot of good things, man. A lot of cool things. But it's been raining every day, so it's kind of slowed down a lot of things for me. But it's been great, man. It's been great. How's everything going your way? But I think I might hop off here pretty soon. I'm gonna try to come up with some plans here soon. Do some more videos. I definitely want to. I've taken a break from everything for a little while, and now that I hired a new assistant here, so I can get back to doing the fun stuff and not have to worry about responding to emails and texts and all that jazz. So, yeah, we're gonna do some cool stuff. We're working on starting a podcast. Vander and I did a little thing last week. Just like a little quick 20-minute thing. We were just talking about whatever. So like the goal with it is to kind of, we'll probably eventually do some live stuff, but my thought process with the podcast is to have different artists come in, do some interviews, some different carvers, talk about carving, life, just a little bit of everything, some tips, some tricks, some Q&As, be able to highlight some carvings that we've done through the week. And so it'll be kind of a way to do carving videos and include everything and talk about everything all in one. So I got a few friends I'll talk to about it too. So once we get it going, I'm just trying to figure out like a microphone, because I'm sure you can hear the background noise. Being on the main highway here, there's really no traffic right now, just a couple cars here and there. So I use the GoPro, and it's got that directional microphone, but it was still picking up some noise in the background. So trying to figure out a way to get some clear sound where it's not so much like this with all the noise. So I don't know if I need to order some microphones. I've kind of just been, I don't know. Probably at some point I'll do that, but we'll try to make the GoPro work for now. But yeah, I saw those fires up there. And are you safe from it? I guess obviously if you're on the computer and stuff. Now I know like all the smoke was traveling the United States, and I will say, was it last week? It might have been last week or the week before. It actually had it was smoky here. It was just a haze for a while. So fortunately we had a bunch of rain to knock all that down, but I don't know if that's directly reflected from the fires up there, but I know there's a ton of smoke coming from up there and making its way down this way. But there was a couple days in particular, like it was gross out here. And it wasn't our smoke from the Smoky Mountains, So hopefully you're safe up there. And I know that it was a pretty big fire, so we're good. I love you too, Pops. Thanks for your support on my YouTube channel. Thanks for stopping by. I did call you today, but you didn't call me back. So I was trying to check on you, but I'll give you a holler in the morning, or call me when you get up, and all that stuff. I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Like I said, I've been on here for a little while, and probably ready to call it a day here shortly. It's been over 1 million acres burnt here. Dude, That's a huge fire. I know that's a huge fire, man. Hopefully they can get it. Is it contained now? I haven't kept up with it at all. But I know they can see it from like satellite images and all that stuff. So hopefully, pray for you guys up there. And, man, I hate that. We had some pretty bad fires here not too long ago in Gatlinburg. They didn't burn 1 million acres by any means, but definitely some lives lost and a lot of buildings, and it's. I'm probably more of a. I'm definitely more of an optimist in tough situations. And it's really hard to see blessings. There's so much tragedy, but it's probably the same up there. It's as it was down here. So many people came together, and it really gives everybody an opportunity to. I don't want to say this and sound bad, but every tragedy I've had in my life has allowed me to step back and really realize what's important, right? And we take for granted a lot of things daily, and so hopefully they get it squared away soon. And like I said, we'll definitely keep our prayers for everybody up there. And actually, I think. Do you ever see Josh on here? I think it's Josh Lewis. I need to reach out to him, and I think he's up in that area too. I may give him a text him. I'll do that tomorrow. But you guys are okay? It's not gotten to you at all? Man, that's a lot of land to burn up. That's a lot of land to burn up. So, let me hop back on here. A lot of cars wants to be there too. Awesome, man. You guys are kind of going through the ringer up there, huh? Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that, Glenn. And Matt, I did like a drawing. It's probably been a little over a year ago now. Of like, I called it like step 1, understanding the process, I think. And somebody commented a while back. And they're like, bro, it's been like a year and a half. We're step 2. So I left it on step 1, not intentionally. But I've been talking a lot about it recently, and so I'll definitely try to do a step 2, just to show my perception of carving and the bears and stuff, and hopefully it'll maybe give you some tips and tricks and all that stuff. And so I'm in Southwest Ontario, Forest, as you can go. That's a little bit too. And so you guys got 2 different fires going on, one in Quebec and you said one in Western Canada. Let me look that up real quick. And I'll be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of, I really don't watch any news at all. So I haven't kept up with it or anything. I did catch something, it was probably on Facebook or something. We're saying the smoke's reaching Europe now. I was just looking at some pictures. Man, that's wild. Is it pretty dry up there? I mean, have you guys gotten rain or anything like that? It says I can do it on Google Maps. Let's see. Yeah, it's showing up. You guys got a bunch of fires going up there. That's not typical or anything, is it? Like, that's not I know that's the biggest one ever, but do you guys normally get, is this like a fire season for you guys too? Because I know, I think like California, they have like a wildfire season. We're getting rain, but I don't know. Well, man, we just keep praying and so we'll definitely keep you in our prayers, and hopefully it doesn't. Like I said, is that a common thing for you guys up there? Fire season every year, but yeah. Man, I'd say they're probably. I know when we had those here, and I'd be lying to you if I told you how many acres burnt down, but they were flying firefighters from like Colorado to help contain it, because we had a drought going on. We had super high winds that day. I mean, we had 80-mile-an-hour gusts, so it wasn't like one fire in particular. Like the ambers were traveling, and they were just chasing this thing all over the place. And then we had another one. There's a little township in Pigeon Forge called Wares Valley. I believe that was last year. I think it burnt down like 33,000 acres over there. And you know, we don't really get stuff like that usually. So yeah, I hate that. Like I said, I hadn't kept up with it. I had just saw something briefly about it, and I hadn't. Is it like real? Oh, I had to stand up for a minute. I'm gonna smoke. Smoke one more cigarette with y'all, and then I'm gonna go call it a night. But are they able to do anything for it? I know you said they're working on it. Firefighters from around the world, according to the news. Yeah. I mean, something that big. It's like, how do you contain that? You know, I know they have like preventative. They can do like not preventative, but they could set fires to contain fires. And there's a whole science behind that, but I mean, you gotta imagine that the temperature in there has got to be astronomical. And you guys got probably some old growth there, some big trees, and you know, especially with not a ton of rain either. You know, that's just a mix of nothing good over there. So I'm sorry you guys are going through that. You know, like I said, you know, and I would assume everybody up there is pretty community driven anyway. You know, we're a pretty small community here, and so hopefully, you know, everybody comes together and is able to support each other and make it through it. So, so we'll definitely. We got a little Bible study we do here on Wednesdays. I'll put it on the prayer list. That way we can definitely say a prayer for y'all up there. And wish I would have kept up with a little bit more, but like I said, I don't watch the news. But we'll definitely pray for you guys and just keep me updated. And if there's anything I can do, I'd definitely be more than happy to. But I know there's really nothing I can do except pray. So we'll do that for sure. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I was just looking on my phone at some of the images over there, and it's pretty intense. I watch a couple channels and stuff, but let me put that on my list real quick. I'm gonna call Josh tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna smoke one more cigarette with y'all. And then call it a night. I'm definitely it's definitely Monday. So usually pretty hectic around here. Getting everything organized for the weekend. Getting the week schedule put up. And so we'll have what is your favorite piece you have ever carved? Could I have two favorite pieces I've ever carved? Probably the two most influential pieces. There's two in particular that always stand out to me. Okay, I got two. I always say long story short, but it always ends up being a long story. So I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, for a while, and got to a point where I was starting to get homesick, and it's only like 3.5 hours from here. And I'm gonna skip a ton of details, but I was working Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Charlotte. My dad's house at the time was about halfway, so I'd crash there Saturday night, leave Sunday, come to Tennessee, carve wood at my uncle's shop, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, sleep in the shop, go back to my dad's, back to Charlotte. So I did that every bit of 6 months at least. I was really conflicted. I loved it here, just didn't know where I wanted to be. So very long story short, decided to move to Tennessee full time. I picked up a job doing sales and was carving part time, because at the time it was like winter, it was a little slower, and trying to get a place around here was a nightmare. Long story. Anyway, so the first piece was, this lady was from Chicago, and my uncle shop, there's a few different artists, and she liked my style piece, and never been to the Smokies, had a lot of health problems, and it was always on her wish list to come here, and she always wanted a bear from the Smokies. Her whole life, that's all she wanted. And so I was commissioned to make a piece for her, and I think it was a bear holding like a honey pot or something. And I had talked to her a little bit there. So I wanted it to be like a really special piece for her because of her story and all that. But when she came and picked it up, it meant so much to her she cried. And was so grateful and just excited to have it. And we talked for like 3 hours. We talked about life, carving, everything. Long conversation. And so after she had left, I thought about it for a very long time. And the next day, I quit my job and decided to carve full time. I just felt like that's what I was meant to do, especially after that situation. That piece meant so much to her, but she'll never know how much that piece influenced me to really commit, because it's scary. It's hard to leave a secure job. It's hard to, carving, you never know when your income's coming in, right? So it's hard to let go and really commit to it. It's not easy. And so I would say that was probably a really important piece of my life because it allowed me to commit to carving. I had struggles and still do. All that stuff. About 3 years ago, man, I could tell you a whole story of even when I started this place, but anyway. 3 years ago, I hit a true rock bottom. And I'm just going to be completely vulnerable and open. I tell the story a lot. It's where I found God. Went through a lot when I started this place, I opened this place up. And then skip a lot of unnecessary details, but thought at that moment in my life everything was set, man. It's my wife, kids, business, boom, 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 boom. So that turned out to all be a lie. Long story short. So with that came a lot of old things that popped up. So there's a lot of anger, a lot of everything. So I won't go into a lot of detail there, but I had heard a quote that said, if your roots aren't deep enough to reach hell, then your branches will never be strong enough to reach heaven. And it resonated with me. And I had this huge white pine log here. I'm talking 4 foot by 6-7 foot tall, this big old tree. And I had it here for a year or so, just sat there, didn't know what I was going to do with it. It was huge. I couldn't even move it. So, out of that anger and that hurt, the only thing I knew what to do was carve. And I was carving, and I was carving. I was just taking everything out on the saw, So I started carving this piece, and all of a sudden this finger starts forming, and this hand starts coming together, and so the hand was pointing up towards heaven, and still is. Kind of like this. There was a big nail in the palm of it, with a big heart on it, and I had all these vines and thorns wrapped around it, and I painted the thorns black. It was just, at that moment, I was always trying to be better and do better, and the thorns represented everything in the world bringing you back down, right? And so, as I grew, and I grew with that piece, I softened up some of the thorns, started painting a little bit of green on the vines, and that represented at the time what I thought was actually holding me down was helping me grow. And so, and I would work on it a little bit here and there on the side. It wasn't like I was on it every day kind of thing. this would have been January a few years ago, whatever. And I really took time to heal from a pure place. Didn't fill the voids with anything. So there was a moment I cut everything free. And that was kind of representing me breaking through. And so then it was just a hand pointing to God. Right? And my old building that was here, I had it on the roof there forever. And I thought anybody that drove by that needed to see it, it would be there for them. And, you know, sure enough, I had a few people stop by. And it was amazing what opened from that piece. Because I would get all kinds of questions about it. Some people are like, oh, you should put a middle finger up there and stuff. I was like, yeah, you know, probably not good for business, you know, flipping everybody off, you know, a big 6.5, 7 foot hand up there, you know. But I had two very special moments. One was a veteran. He had terminal cancer. And he stopped in one day and he wanted to thank me for doing that, because it would remind him to talk to God every day. He drove by it every day. And dude, I'll be honest with you, I cried. After he left, I was just like, wow. You know, that was such a selfish piece. That was a piece for me. You know what I mean? But the effect that it had on so many people was so humbling. And so, the guys next door, the two brothers that own a barbecue stand next door. And one of the brothers, his name is CR. And CR, at least once a week, will be like, hey, how much is that hand? You know, I want to buy that hand. I was like, oh, you know, that's my piece, man. I'll keep it forever. You know, I don't want to sell it. I'll make you one, though. He's like, no, I want that one. I was like, you know, maybe one day, I don't know. And so that went on for probably 2 months, honestly. And he came up to me one day and he said, how much is the hand? And I'll be honest, I wouldn't be here without them. They're the most incredible people I've ever met in my entire life. And I said, CR, I won't sell it to anybody, because I had a ton of people trying to buy it anyway. I said, but I want you to have it. He's like, no, I'll give you my. I said, no. It's the least I can do for you. You know, I want you to appreciate the piece. You know, you deserve to have it. All this is because of you. You know, because there's another story in between that. And so I say that long story. That's probably the most sentimental piece I've ever made. With the most meaning. He put it out by the road. You know, he was talking to it and appreciating it, doing all that stuff. So a simple little hand with a very intense journey along the way. It's probably my favorite piece, because it represented so much growth in myself. So kind of a heavy story, but it's the most sentimental piece I've ever made. And so I have 3 pieces now that I'm hoping to get started. One of them I've been wanting to do for 5 years, and every time it gets pushed to the bottom of the list. I have like a weird Inception piece I want to do. It's a very artsy piece. And then Wednesday I had a dream of a piece that I'm going to do first. So those might take over as far as my favorite piece goes. I don't know yet. But that hand is out by the road. And, you know, it's probably got the most, like I said, sentimental attachment to it. But it's kind of a heavy story. But we've made some really cool, lighthearted pieces. It got really heavy, man. I'm sorry. But I'd be lying to you if I said anything else. Trying to think of another cool piece I did. Man, there's been so many. That's the only one that really sticks out, so I'll have a better answer for you next time. Yeah, that's probably it. We got some really intricate pieces, and, like incorporated metal, and like I love that kind of stuff too. Um, was able to work on it was a piece we all had worked on at my uncle's shop. It was a guy in meditation, surrounded by a lotus flower with flames, and it was a cool transition between flesh and bone, and it kind of represented like ascension into the spiritual body. So that was a cool piece. I think they still kind of work on it a little bit here and there, kind of thing. Those are just completely different. You know, bear wise, we do a lot of bears. So like the weird stuff sticks out quite a bit. So sorry for the long story, man. Yeah, carving. Dude, let me tell you. I don't get to carve as much as I used to because I focus so much more on the business side of stuff. But I'm changing that again. But yeah, dude, when I'm on the chainsaw and the music's hitting just right and the whole world disappears for 20 to 23 minutes until it runs out of gas, you know. I'm so hyper focused. It's a weird thing. It's a meditation. So like in the beginning, my mind's just racing. I got to do this. This person. I got to get this done. I got to blah blah blah. And then halfway through it, all of it just goes away. All the traffic goes away. All the people go away. The world goes away, and it's a break. It's a way to escape. And that's this trip into Kentucky this weekend. That's what I really want to share. You know, there's a lot of veterans get out. They struggle with PTSD. You know, a lot of times you'll find they'll escape in unhealthy habits, and which leads to other things. And so my whole journey here of changing the world one piece at a time has zero to do with if anybody ever buys another piece again. I hope they do. That way we can keep growing and doing things. But the root of it, I don't care. The root of this YouTube channel, when I first started the YouTube channel, I was doing like a vlog thing. I wanted to share the story and all that stuff with everybody. And then YouTube will break down every analytic you could ever think of. You can go into a studio. They'll tell you the age of who's watching it, how many times they skip through, the durations, how many times people skip through. And it really will make you overthink every little thing that you do. And so I did that for a couple weeks, and I said, you know what, dude, who cares? I'm going to make videos. Some are going to be long, some are going to be short. But if one person tries carving, and it might not be for them, but it's going to open doors to something else, but they can escape that reality of whatever they're going through, good or bad, they can just disappear. That's what it's all about. That's what carving's about for me. You know, that, like I said, spreading God's love. You know, all this is because of him. It took a long time for him to get my attention, and so, you know, we do all the work. I give him all the credit, and you know, it's about everybody else. And through the COVID mess all over the world, you know, carving has really grown, and it's more of a mainstream thing than it used to be. You know, when I started carving, dude, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have, I had no fancy tools. I had nothing, man. We had grinders, and like the fur bit that I used, my dad came up with 15 years ago. And we took a bit that was a router bit and grinded it and trying different things. Oh, that's what I use. to this day still. And I'm still stuck in some of the old habits and stuff. But you know, and back then it was I didn't know a lot of carvers. You go on now and it's amazing. There's carvers all over the world, which have always been, but more people are trying, and which is incredible, because it's a journey. You know, a lot of people, they appreciate the work, a lot of people don't. I get amazing people in here, and I get very rude people in here. You know, we are probably on the higher end of stuff around here. But with that into consideration, I do a lifetime warranty with everything. We stand behind it. You know, use high quality products, all those things. And it's the time to get to where they're at now. You know, it's some people just don't know prices on stuff. Some people don't care. Some people appreciate the work, and some people don't. So, you know, I had one situation a couple weeks ago, and I don't even care about my own stuff, but I get defensive over the guys here. And this lady just made some really rude comments, and so probably could have handled it a little bit better, honestly. I didn't say anything. I didn't like cuss her out or anything, but I was probably a little ruder than I needed to be. But she was very rude and insulting to begin with, so I don't know. It's a little balance there. But man, I just want everybody to carve. And whether the carving's for them, like I said, it may or may not be, but it's going to open up doors to other things. It might be drawing. It might be painting. It doesn't matter what it is. It's all a meditation to escape, right? So music, when I was a kid, I did music. I painted as a kid. I drew as a kid. I didn't pay attention in school at all. Let me turn off that compressor. You couldn't get me to sit down for an extended amount of time. I couldn't tell you what planets existed. My science teacher told me that, you know, school's not made for everybody. I got sent to military school in 8th grade. I mean, I was wild, man. I was wild. But art, ever since a kid, art was always got me. And so, whether it's music, like I said, I played drums for a while, I played trumpet, I played French horn, I did tattooing, I did metal art, woodworking, furniture making, building motorcycles. I was really into that for a long time. That's really what I wanted to do for a while, was build custom bikes from scratch. All those things, but carving was always what I loved. So I want everybody to experience it. I'm saying all this because I want everybody to experience it. We all go through things on a daily basis, you know. We all have struggles mentally, physically, you know. You can look at fake lives on social media, you know. But at the end of the day, we all have stuff. You know, I do. Everybody does. I have battles every day. But when I'm on the chainsaw, you know where they go? Out the door. And so when I don't get to carve, I don't get to express myself. I don't get to escape. Things get heavy. Things get stressful here. I start worrying about business stuff. You know, it might slow down a little bit. We had that in June. So I'm starting to rearrange things. Like, oh, we need to move this, we gotta do this. Let's start pushing here, let's do this, you know. Because I'm not worried about me, I'm worried about the other guys here. And so that's my main focus is here. But carving, especially right now, you know, I'm a little envious of people getting into it. Only for the fact because, like I said, there's no pressures. And you can just go out there, and I can do that now. I can do whatever I want to, essentially. I could shut down the doors and never open again, but none of this is about me here. None of this is for me. but I want to carve, right? And so just get out there, enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Who cares what it looks like? They're going to be terrible. And the more you learn, the more you're going to hate your pieces anyway. So I hate everything I make. I think it's all garbage. People like it. But I can tell you at the very end of it, I look at it, I'm like, wow, this sucks. Everything I make. Don't like anything. And as you learn more, you push yourself more, you'll start noticing things more. And so, but it's awesome. I'm not saying this to be negative whatsoever. It's an incredible, incredible journey. And, you know, I always recommend everybody keep your first piece you ever make. Just keep it. And then you'll have something to always look back to. And I tell the story all the time. I gave my dad the first bear I ever carved. And immediately, I was like, Pops, check out this bear I made. I want you to have it. You know, it was like, I was fired up about it. Never done it before in my life. I was like, I want you to have it. He said, oh, yeah, you should give me the second one because this is it's crap, you know, so, but he still has it. And, you know, keep your first piece, keep studying, keep pushing, keep trying new things, you know, stay humble, and, you know, it'll open up, and who knows where it'll take you, you know, but right now in the moment, just enjoy it. Just enjoy it as you can. Started myself carving years ago. I do it to relax and enjoy myself. I wish I could have started when I was younger. But then I do the same thing, brother. I carved today 2 rough outs. I took my time with them today. I really did. One's like a bigger stump bear, and then where I started this video was like, I started doing this, I have this like daily word. One of my customers gave me like 2 years ago. And I had a little bear that Vander made that was holding business cards, so we decided to put the word in there. I was like, oh, we should share that with everybody. Why is it just here? So I started posting it on Facebook. Well, somebody wanted it, so it sold. And so originally I was going to make this little stump bear to replace it, but it didn't work out. But even that little bear, dude, I got 10 minutes way too long in that thing. It should have taken me 6-7 minutes, but who cares? You know, I was doing it. It was at the end of the day. Just doing it to relax, man. The music was good, and it felt good to carve. And so it's weird because it's like you're carving, you're raging. Sometimes it's like things are hitting good, but man, it's relaxing. That's the 2 chainsaws in the logo. It's the yin and the yang. Is what they represent. You're taking something aggressive, made for destruction, and you're balancing it out with art and soft cuts and delicate cuts, and it's a cool balance. Yeah. So that's the 2 chainsaws, the cross saws, but yeah, it's amazing. And like these conversations, like, you know, it like reassures me and remotivates me. You know, this year on the business side of it, honestly, I was a little burnt out, man. There was so much going on, and I wasn't able to keep my word on some pieces, and it was just so busy. And you know, I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning, try to carve as much as I could before everybody woke up, and the phone started ringing, and people started stopping by, because from 8 o'clock to 8 o'clock, it was just, I couldn't get anything done. And by the time I was able to, I was like mentally exhausted, you know. And so, last few months, I mean, I've really kind of like took a break from social media, just kind of took a break, softened up a little bit, and then, you know, with my assistant here, Hallie, kind of re-engaged everything. And these conversations, it's like, oh yeah, let's get back to creating art. Let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to the root, you know. Who cares about all these metal things? And, you know, it's a blessing. You know, I worked really hard to have a good reputation here. And I want to keep that, you know. I want to make an influence into the community here. So I want to make sure we're doing the right things when we need to be doing. We join the Chamber of Commerce here and different things, but man, I'm just ready to get back to carving. I got 2 pages of orders that I'm just ready to get done and get back to carving. But you know, doing it when you were younger, man, I could probably say that about everything. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. But when you're on your journey, it might have took you this long to appreciate it. You know, I'll tell you, I've been carving not quite 20 years, but almost. And up until the last 6 years, 7 years, is when I really appreciated it. But it took a very long time to get there. Because I was chasing mine and it didn't mean as much to me as it does now, if that makes any sense. So enjoy it. Get out there. I don't know if you listen to music while you carve, or podcasts, or books on tape, or whatever, but you know, or nothing. Just put some headphones in, man. Just start cutting. Who knows where? You know, it don't have to necessarily be a bear. You know, bears around here, it's the Mickey Mouse of the Smokies. And bears and carving are just hand in hand, right? And so, but try some funky stuff. You know, get out of that. You know, if you're just focused on bears, try a fish, try a bird, try a harp, a music note, an axe, whatever. And what'll happen is it'll break you away from, if you're doing bears, it'll break you away from the bears, make you start guessing your cuts a little bit more, and then when you get back to the bears, it'll actually make you a better carver. Because you took a break, you got out of that routine of doing the same cuts that you learned and got used to. It breaks that routine up to where you can go back in and like, oh, let me try this, let me try that. So, you know, it's such an interesting art. It's such an interesting art, you know, because there's no right and wrong ways. We're all different. You know, I guess it's the same with everything. Carving in particular, you know, it's 3D. It's, you put your hands on it. It's, you know, I respect painters, and there's some very talented painters out there, but that just seems so hard to me because it's so two-dimensional. You know, and you got to get somebody that really appreciates the time in the painting. You know, with carving, it's like everybody can appreciate it. You know, they can look like, wow, that was a tree. Yeah. You know, I mean, people that have never seen carving in their life, and I'm like, what do you mean never seen carving? You know, and so it's cool, man. And you meet awesome people. You know, some carvers we're all weird, but at the end of the day, we're all in the same community trying to do the same thing. So, I'm gonna smoke one more cigarette with y'all. Been talking for a while. Which is pretty common for me anyway, but I'm gonna smoke one more. And then, what time is it? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna call it a night. Throw on some old Whose Line Is It Anyway? Laugh a little bit, then go to bed. But I appreciate these interactions because I actually feel like I get to have like good conversations with y'all, and you know, there's a handful of us on here. It's cool, man. It's so cool, man. It's so cool, man. I don't care about the views. I don't care about nothing. I don't care about this at all. It's such a personal way to meet and greet y'all, talk with you guys, share some stories, hear from y'all. I love this side of it. So this is what I want to do more of. And I'm hoping maybe that podcast will kind of be able to do that in the same way. Maybe reach other people and get them inspired to go try something. So, man, Carving in the rain. If it's warm, let me put a little asterisk next to that. Carving in the rain. You're in the piece if you're carving in the rain. Let me tell you that. Who cares, right? Soaking wet. I did that I did a little stump bear last week, and one of my chainsaws started acting up. But I don't know, it's just not running. So I was bummed out because it was like I was ready to start carving, and then that happened. But I love carving in the rain. I love it, man, because like you just said, who cares? You know what I mean? You are so lost. The world around you could be raining, storming, and you're right there. You're in the piece. That's cool, man. Banner was in that last week. I mean, it was slinging the rain sideways around here. Out there slinging the sawdust. I was like, man, I haven't had that little passion in a minute. It's coming back. But yeah, dude, I love carving in the rain. And I actually, before I got fat again, when I was in better shape, I loved carving without a shirt on. And it sucked, man. It hurt. But, like, I felt more connected with the piece, because it's probably because I'm weird anyway. But, man, it would just hurt, but it was like, I was in the piece, you know. But, yeah, carving in the rain. I carve in the snow. I'm not as happy when it's freezing outside, I'll tell you that. So now it's been like warm. It was 90 today here, and to be nighttime and just wear t-shirts and shorts, this is my favorite time of year. And it got a little chilly a couple weeks ago. I mean, we were down in the 50s and 60s, which is not cold, but when it's been 90 for so long and it drops down like that, I was like frozen. But yeah, I love, man. Yeah. Carving in the rain, snow. I'm carving. It's crazy weather, man. But that just means you're into it. Matthew, that's all that matters, brother. That of all this whole thing I've said, it's like just have fun. I talked to a lot of new carvers. Do you like carving and stuff? Well, both of y'all are Canadian, but snow's like summer for y'all, I feel like. You know what I mean? I got Florida. I was born in Florida originally, so even though I've been here 20 plus years, I still got that Florida blood in me. I don't do good in the cold. I become like an old man in the cold. I'm probably a little bit grumpier than usual. Everything hurts a little bit more. I'm like, oh, it's cold, you know. But I do it. I just layer up. I look like a marshmallow man. That's cool, man. And say for you, I still do I got a Facebook page. It's just Fatbobs Wood Co. There's a bunch of videos on there, and some other things. But man, my email's on there. The shop phone's on there. So if I don't get back to you right away, just you can call or text me, man. I'll be happy to call and talk to you. And, you can text me some pictures and ask for advice. I'd be happy to help you along the way. So just feel free to reach out. You know, it don't have to be just on YouTube. So you can email me. I might not get back to you right away, but I promise I will. And send me some pictures of some of y'all's stuff. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Maybe we could do like a. I think Jordy does that though. He does like carvers. Jordy. Was it Carbon Fusion? What's his name? Jordy Johnson. Carbon Fusion. I think it's Jordy, whatever his name is. That guy's awesome. But Jordy Johnson. That's right. Yeah. Has he been live in a while? I haven't even I think he got mad at me one day, and unintentionally, I don't know. Carve feeling, yeah. Because he always says carve deeper, right? And so I watch other carvers and stuff too. And I really took it to heart that day and said carve deeper. I know he says it a lot, but one day it just clicked for me, and I started applying that. And so I wanted to give him like a quick shout out, just like, hey dude, you know, your carve deeper really influenced my carving career, and I just wanted to say thank you, you know, thank you for everything you do. And he was just like, yeah, thanks Fatbob, whatever. So I was on their comment and stuff, but I don't know if he was like mad, thinking I was trying to like, I don't know, take viewers or something away from him, but I was like genuinely was just trying to say thank you. And it's happened more than once. Like I'm like, hey, what's up, brother? You know, what are you working on? And he just, you know, it was like zero interest and chit chat with me. So it's probably nothing personal. And I like everything he does. But yeah, that one day I was like, man, you know, trying to show you a little bit of love, brother. I can't do snow, man. I can't do snow. I'll do it if I have to. Like, we don't get a lot of snow here. We might get a couple inches where I'm at. Now, it'll snow up on the mountain quite a bit, but we don't get a lot of snow. And if it does, it hangs out for like a day, maybe two. So, it don't hang out long. Which I'm alright with, because we'll have days in the winter, it's 60, 70. This year was weird. It was like 70 degrees in February for like 2 weeks. And I was like, shit, we're in spring. You know? And then March and April, it was like 20. Like, it was awful. It sucked. I did not like it. We had snow in April this year. You know, it just hung out, and then it rained. It's been a weird weather year. But what are you going to do? You know, just complain about it. Keep carving. Has Jordy been on in a while? Have you guys watched his stuff? Because I've seen you on there before, man. I haven't seen any stuff. I haven't got any notification on this stuff lately. Of course, I haven't been on YouTube either, so I'll have to go check him out again. I used to watch him a lot. I watch Ryan Cook a lot. There's some guy in Norway, I think. Man, those guys overseas, those are some talented people. I mean, just crazy pieces they're making over there. Well, I don't even know how to do it. And I would like to have a piece that I just work on and see how far I can like push. This video's up all the time. I must just miss it then. Or maybe it like quit notifying me for some reason. I'll have to go back on there and check it out. Or maybe that's what it is. Okay. So I haven't been live in a while. Yeah, that guy's awesome. I'd love to meet him one day. He's a character for sure. But he'd be a cool dude to hang out and carve with. I did meet some. I have their names written down. I met some carvers. They were in town for the Bigfoot Festival. And I think one was like, there was a couple from Wisconsin maybe. And Maryland maybe. That I'd watched the YouTube stuff. So that was like a really cool experience. I've had, you know, with like the little following that we got, man, I've had like 20 people come through or so. I like to watch on YouTube. That's amazing. Really awesome. So like I really strive. Probably one of the most important things is I want it to be like the same person on here as it is like in real life. And that probably sounds stupid, but you know, I'm as real as possible. I make mistakes carving all the time. I try not to include that. So, you know, and that's probably one thing in that podcast I want to like really focus on. It's like, oh, what did we learn? You know, what did you try differently and all that stuff. Oh, do you really? Do you get like a couple of the spirit faces and stuff? He was doing, I think the last time I saw him, he was doing like an auction thing, and I tried to get on there, and I just missed it. So I was wanting to get one of his pieces. So, that's very cool. Yeah, so I'm actually in Sevierville. So, like Pigeon Forge, Dollywood's probably 10 minutes from here, 15 minutes with traffic. There's like I'm like right at the line. I'm pretty close to the line at Pigeon Forge. And then obviously Gatlinburg, but yeah, we're right here. Right here in the Smoky Mountains, man. Right here in the Smokies. I'm on one of, there's two main entrances coming into town now. You got exit 407, and then you got exit 432. Depending on where you're coming, GPS will take you one way or the other. So you're either going to pass my shop or not. But yeah, it's Newport Highway is the name. It turns into Dolly Parton Parkway, less than a quarter mile up the road here. So that's where we're at, man. That's where we're at. It's beautiful here. It's beautiful here. I tried moving away so many times, but I always ended up right back here. And so it's nice where I'm at in particular because we got Douglas Lake. It's 10 minutes from here, and man, there's some good fishing, some good coves with mountains in the background and all that stuff. And so, doesn't Jordy have does he have an Etsy page, Glenn? I think I saw something that he was like, wasn't he selling pieces on Etsy or something like that? 'Cause I definitely want to get one of his pieces. And there was another guy I was watching for a while. But yeah, I definitely want to get some of his pieces. I think so, yeah, I do too. He had one, man, what was that one piece? It was like some auction he was doing. I forget what he was like raising money for something. I think it was a new tool or something. This has probably been a good 6 months ago. There was one in particular that was, man, so cool. So cool. I think he was getting like a new Fordham tool or something. He was trying to raise some money for it. But I'd love to go out there and carve with him. I mentioned to him if he's ever down this way, come by and hang out and carve a little bit. If that ever happens or not, either way, it'd be cool. So I got some other people I know up in Canada. I've never been up there. So take the motorcycle for a ride down there, come see shopping. Man, I would love that. We got some amazing motorcycle roads around here. I haven't rode my bike probably 3 years. I got this custom, it's a 1970s Honda chopper, and long story short, it caught on fire one day. And I haven't rebuilt it since. It's been sitting. I bought a Mustang Bullet recently, and there's a little Mustang club around here. And then my buddy and I started a car club, and so we've been really into that. But there's obviously the Dragon. Everybody knows the Dragon. We'll go ride that. There's Cherry Hollow Skyway, which is beautiful. The Rattler. I'm actually hosting a Mustang meet up here July 8th. And we're gonna go do the Rattlers, Highway 209, come in through the lake and all that stuff, come over here and have some barbecue and stuff. But man, there's some amazing roads around here, even back roads. Not even the popular ones. There's just some good motorcycle roads around here. How cool is that? How do you even get a piece of wood like that? How did you get that piece of wood? My uncle's got a piece that they carbon dated before like Noah's Ark days. And dude, that's a really special piece. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Have you been on the Dragon, Matthew? Do you have a picture of it, Glenn? That would be awesome. Was that something that he made specifically for you? Or was that something you had bought? You said you traded him some pieces. What kind of bike do you have, Matthew? Well, if you haven't been on the Dragon, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty, let me say this. It can be very stressful. There's so many vehicles. And it's, you know, back in the day, it was probably more of a motorcycle road, but I think it's more or less the cars, honestly, have kind of taken it over a little bit more. And it depends on when you catch it. The weekends are going to be awful traffic-wise, but it's a cool experience. If you've never done it, you definitely need to do it because, you know, it's 318 curves and 11 miles. If you get behind somebody that's getting after it, you can get after it. It's a wild ride. But sometimes you'll get stuck behind some slow cars. So, Kawasaki Vulcan. Is that like a Nomad? Is that what they call it? The 1600s? The Nomads? We used to sell it. I worked at a dealership. We sold Honda, Suzuki, and Kawasaki. One of the subscribers sent him the piece. That's so cool, man. See, how cool is that? You know, you have that channel that he's built and worked really hard on, and you got people from England sending pieces of wood over, and man, that's amazing. That's really, really amazing. That's cool. 1600 Vulcan Nomad, yeah. Okay. Yeah, those are, my buddy had one of those for a long time. Didn't Kawasaki have a Buffalo or something they called? Like an older bike that was kind of like pre-Nomads? 2007. That's a good bike, man. Kawasaki made a great bike. I'm a Japanese bike guy. Specifically like 70s is my soft spot. I've had a bunch of them. Typically a lot of Hondas and Yamahas. I've had a bunch of CB750s. One of my favorite bikes I actually had a wreck on. It was a pretty good little bike. But it was a 79 Yamaha XVS 750. It was a triple, it was a 3-cylinder. So it had like the coolest, unique sound to it. But I set it up like an old school cafe racer. And just a cool, solid bike. So I was wanting to get, I had a warehouse up the road. I was really wanting to get some time to like rebuild it. It's a 73, it's a CB750 motor, that's what it is, on a newer frame. But it's a hardtail. I named it Karen because it's a Karen to drive. No front brakes, dude. Just rear brake. It's 9 foot long. It's like an old Easy Rider style bike. Just bare bones. Just motor, frame, tires. That's it. Not comfortable. I'm good for about 30 minutes and then I start feeling it. But man, I love riding that bike. So what happened was all the electronics and everything are underneath the seat. I bought it from a guy in the middle of nowhere, and it was a big spaghetti mess when I got it. So I tried to like band-aid it as much as possible. And so the support bracket for the rear brake, the stabilizer bar that went from the rear brake into the box, pinched against the battery wire. I got new tires on it, and it arced against that thing, and it just like burned everything up in there. And I just put electronic ignition in it. You know, I bought those K&N pods, new ignition coils, everything. So I just need to go in and like tear all that wiring out and just make a basic setup. And then I need to get the carbs rebuilt. I didn't do a good job rebuilding the carbs. I kind of like half-assed them, honestly. So I was constantly chasing a leak somewhere in between one of them. But it would leak just little enough that I was like, I don't care, I'm going for rides. Let's see. I had an 83 CD on 9-foot bike. Hey Glenn, I appreciate you stopping by, brother. It's nice to talk to you, and I'll see you soon. No, you don't ride it well around here at all. It's obnoxious. And again, I haven't rode it in 3 years, but it sucks to drive. It's not fun. You take corners a little slower than you would like a sport bike. But I got that, and then I got a 94 Yamaha VMAX. That's my favorite bike ever made. But the second gear started breaking out in it. You gotta take the whole motor apart to replace the transmission and that. And so it's been sitting for 5 years, just rotting away. But for some reason, I just want to give it to somebody, give it some life again. But I just got a weird emotional attachment to the bike. Dude, tens of thousands of miles I put on that bike. But yeah, you definitely need to bring your bike down and experience some of the roads around here. They're awesome, dude. It's some of the best roads I've ever ridden. Even when I lived in North Carolina, I came over here to ride. Just because the roads are awesome. And then you got a little bit north of us is the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is incredible. There's a lot, man. And you could probably look up like motorcycle roads around here. We just rode in the Mustang group. We did. It's called the Devil's Triangle, and then I forget what road it is, but you could look it up. You end up at the it's called Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary. It's an old jail in the middle of nowhere from like the 1800s that they finally decommissioned like 10 years or so ago. But they got a cool restaurant there, like a distillery. They like really built it up. You could do tours and stuff there. Sorry, it's like a weird truck go by. You could do tours and stuff there, and it was a good little ride. It was pretty aggressive. The problem with that one is there's a big outdoor park called Windrock, and all the side-by-sides and stuff on the road. So it was pretty rocky in a lot of spots. Just from all the side-by-sides coming down the road and all that stuff. So, but man, I've said it a few times, but it's 11:30, so I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate the conversation, and I definitely look forward to doing some more stuff here soon. And thanks for hanging out with me. This 10-minute video turned into almost a 3-hour video, so it's been wonderful for me. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Appreciate the conversation, and I'll definitely be talking to you guys soon. But I will, man, keep in touch, Matthew. And maybe by the time you come down, I'll have my bike ready. We can go for a ride together. But God bless. Thanks for joining me on this journey of changing the world one piece at a time. I'll see you guys very soon. Love y'all. I said bye, and then I got to figure out how to get out of here. See you guys.